Welcome to today's webinar. I'm Michelle Proud. I'll be your host for today's presentation, Why SMB Owners Are Using Fractional Sales Managers. Thank you for attending. Let's get started. Our goals for today are presenting the fantastic benefits a part-time experienced sales manager can offer, understanding the value of a repeatable sales process in developing a predictable revenue stream, and demonstrating how sales and marketing techniques have changed in today's world. Peter Drucker, the management guru, said it simply, "You can't manage what you can't measure." In other words, if you don't have a consistent sales process, how can you expect consistent sales performance? The sales process has changed dramatically in recent years, and even in the past few months. How do you measure success? Of course, success is easy to measure when sales are up. Life is good. But what happens when sales are flat? Or worse? What's your process? Do you have a sales process? One that you can measure? Do you track how many steps it takes from developing a lead to closing a sale? The process of turning an inquiry into a sale used to be called the sales cycle. The marketing geek would generate the leads. The inside rep, or the farmers, would help qualify the leads supplied by marketing. The farmers would take care of the small customers and repeat orders. The hot leads would go to the outside reps, or the hunters. There's a lot more to it today. It's now called the buyer's journey, or some call it Sales 2.0, which is outlined in a book by Seeley and Holloway. You can use the Let's Talk link at any time during the presentation to schedule a 10 to 15-minute conversation with our CEO, Scott Arnold. According to Gartner's research, 60% of a buyer's journey is completed before a prospect ever engages with a sales rep. That may sound startling. 60% of the process is complete before sales has gotten up to bat. Historically, customers have always done their research. Sales reps and sales managers have known this for generations. The earlier you get involved in the deal, the more you can educate the customer on the benefits of your product or solution, the better your chances of getting the deal. That aspect of sales hasn't changed. What has changed is how it's accomplished today. Social media, thought leadership, and marketing intelligence all have to be part of your strategy. Technology is moving so fast and information is so accessible, the customers are better informed than ever before. Customers are well-versed on a vendor's value proposition, the competitive products, the alternative technologies. You have to keep up. Today's marketing executives have a much larger responsibility to educate the prospect than ever before. And on the other end of the buyer's journey, after the sale is closed, the best companies have a customer success team to confirm product utilization is high, customer satisfaction is excellent, and all the elements of a strong foundation for a long relationship are in place for the next opportunity. Historically, this function was rarely part of sales. If it existed at all, it was usually in operations. Great companies know that customer success is a vital component of growing sales, as it is almost always easier and more profitable to keep a customer than to try to find a new one. Here is one of our most favorite quotes. "Your most unhappy customers are your greatest source of learning." Bill Gates, Microsoft. He knows something about technology. So let's discuss the buyer's journey and how to drive the process as early as possible. Marketing and branding must include thought leadership, educational material, social content, blogs and surveys which engage the prospect. Once there is a contact, the lead must be nurtured. Marketing automation can deliver a questionnaire, a buyer's guide, and other material to bring the prospect along at their pace until they are sales ready. How do you know when a prospect is sales ready? A lead scoring system can assess very specific metrics to quantify when the lead is ready for sales to engage. Inside sales takes many forms today: telemarketing, pre-qualification for the enterprise reps, mid-market or SMB reps, channel managers, all of which are actively involved in qualifying the customer and moving leads toward deals. The enterprise rep, sales executive, or major account closer remains the focus of the sales team. These men and women are the best. They're the top of their profession. The big questions are, how do you find them? Or can you train them, coach them, and develop them? Yes, of course, if you have a solid sales process and an experienced manager. A strong leader can establish a culture that develops talented, motivated salespeople into top performers by using a proven and repeatable sales process that reinforces the activities and behaviors that top salespeople exhibit regardless of industry. Fundamental sales skills are transferable. Alec Baldwin made a name for himself selling real estate in the film Glengarry Glen Ross. And he parlayed that into a great retirement gig at the North Pole on SNL. I'm sure you've used a sales funnel to track your revenue pipeline, where leads enter the top of the funnel, the prospects are qualified, and lots of sales dollars pour out of the bottom. Let's look at some real-world sales metrics. If your business does $1 million per month and your average deal size is $100,000, you will need 10 deals every month to meet your revenue goals. If your close rate is 20%, that means you need to have 50 opportunities, averaging $100,000, in the pipeline. Now, let's look at the marketing metrics. You have successfully closed 10 deals, so those opportunities need to be replaced. Let's say your close rate is only 50%, so that means 10 other deals have been lost or went away. If your business model requires 10 new leads to generate one properly qualified sales opportunity, marketing needs to generate 200 new leads every month to provide 20 new opportunities. Let's set the sales funnel aside for a minute and ask, how does one generate 200 sales-ready leads every month? Your sales and marketing process must factor in the math required to generate those 200 sales-ready leads. Branding, thought leadership, educational material, blogs, surveys, and other eye-catching social content are required to touch each contact multiple times. It requires a tremendous number of impressions across all types of media, marketing, and social channels to deliver the quality and quantity of sales-ready leads necessary to feed the sales organization and grow the business. This is today's buyer's journey. If your sales process does not look something like this, you have some work to do. Talent and experience always matters. If you don't think experience matters, when was the last time you bought a gas grill without assembly? Or any IKEA furniture? I'm sure it was not a difficult task, but I bet you were not very good at it because you don't do it often. If a family member bought the same gas grill or same piece of furniture and you had to do it again, I bet you would be a lot quicker and much better at the process. And if you did it for 20 years, you would be very good at it. You would likely have better tools and an improved process. Sales skills and sales management both require consistent improvement, or your competition will pass you by, and your strong salespeople will leave. Our Sales Best Practices Audit contains best practices developed and published by Fortune 500 companies. You don't have to spend $250,000 to $300,000 a year for an experienced and talented sales manager to implement these best practices. A skilled, part-time sales manager can do it for a fraction of the cost. Our Sales Best Practices Audit is step 1 in the 6-step process toward accelerated sales performance. It's a great way to invest in your salespeople and the future of your company. There is obviously much more to cover. This was designed as an introductory presentation. If you would like to discuss specifics about your business and how we can improve the performance of your sales team, schedule a conversation with our CEO, Scott Arnold. Thank you.